Welcome to my other video. So today I'll be talking about React Context API. So what is React Context API? So React's context allows you to share information to any component by storing it in a central place and allowing access to any component that requests it. So now let's see why you should use React Context. So for that you need to understand these diagrams. So here you can see that one component is there, that is component A, and the local state of this component is theme, and the value of this theme is light. So that's the reason I'm getting the background color of this little component as white. Now what if I want to change the local state of this little A component? I can bring one button, and on clicking on that button I can just change the local state of this little component. So I can do it easily. Now, what if I have multiple components? Just like I have one parent component A, and the child component of A is B, and the child component of B is C, and the child component is of C is D. Now, what if I want to just apply this dark theme to each component? So Uh, one way of doing that is passing this dark theme as props to this component, like so. Now let's say there are thousands of components. Then how can you do that? You have to just pass it by props from one component to another component, by other component to another component, just like that. And also imagine one situation where you just don't need the access of this theme property inside your B and C component. Then how can you get this theme from parent A to component D? It's just impossible. So here comes the concept of React context. In React context, there is a term called provider. Provider makes the global store available to any nested component that need to access from the store. And now, if I just click on this button from component A, that is the parent component, and what it will do, it will just update the global state so that every component gets access from that global state to their own local state. Now let's understand it practically. So here you can see that I have already set up one React project using create React app, and my React application is running at port 3000. So here is my React app boilerplate. So at first inside app.js file I'm converting this to one arrow function, and I don't need this logo and also these things. Okay, so now to first set up one context, that is theme context. So I'm naming the file name as theme context.js, and here I have to first import React from React, and then I have to write const theme context, and it will give React dot create context, and finally I'm exporting and as default this theme context. Now after saving it I have to import it inside my app.js file. So I'm writing import theme context from theme context. So here I have this theme context inside my same directory. Now I'm going to use theme context dot provider because I'm going to wrap my all component inside this theme context dot provider, and I have to pass some value as props. So what are those values? Those values are the local state, and also I'm going to create one function to change that local state. So first I will create one local state, that is theme, and for that I have to use state hooks. So write const theme and change theme maybe, and write use state, and just don't forget to import it from React. And I'm just giving the default state as light, and also I'm creating one function that is update theme, and I have to define this function. So write function update theme, and what it will do, it will just toggle the theme. So if the theme is light, it will change the state of theme as dark, and if the theme is dark, it will change the theme to light, like so. Now I will create one component to use inside my theme context provider. So I will put inside this theme context provider so that it can wrap and give the global state. So the component name is component a.jsx that I have created as a new component. So at first I will import this theme context from the theme context, and then I can use it. So I'm replacing this div to theme context. So just keep one thing in your mind, like you have to use theme context dot consumer whenever you just want to access from the global state. So here I can get the access to theme and update theme, which I had inside my root component, and then I will write something like div, and inside div I will give one button, and the button text will be change theme, and then I will declare the class name as theme that I will get from the global state. And on clicking on this button, I will simply call update theme, which I got from my global state. Now on clicking on this button, it will change the theme of the global state, or you can say it will update the global state. Now inside my root component where I have declared my provider, uh, theme context provider, I'm just giving my component A. Now I have to clear all these things from app.css. I just need to write uh, some CSS for the light and dark theme. So I'm going to keep padding as 1 em, border 1 pixel solid, and background color will be white, and the color will be black, and also copying that for the dark only the change will be in background color, it will be black, and the text color will be white. And one more change that I will need is this width. So I will set the width as maybe 15 em for both light and dark. Now save it. Now if I go inside the browser, so here you can see that the component A is there, where you can click on this change theme button and the background gets dark. And also if you click on this change theme again, it gets white. Now let's do it for two more component. So create another component, that is component B, and inside component B I'm going to show you one different way to use this React context. So just create one file component b.jsx, and again I'm creating one functional component. So here I will use one React hooks, that is use context, so that I can access to the global state. So write const theme and the update theme that I will get from the global context, or you can say global state, and then I will write use context, and here I have to pass that theme context. So make sure to import it from theme context. And here I have to give the class name as theme because I'm getting the theme from my global state. So write class name equals to theme. Now inside this div tag, I'm simply writing component B so that you can see the difference while changing the theme. So I'm writing component B and saving it. Now if I go back to browser, you can see only one component is there, and to use this component I have to declare it, or I have to put it inside this theme context of provider, and also make sure to import it. And here you can see that component B is there. Now if I just click on this button from component A, you can see that the theme of this component B has been also changed. So that is the use of React Context API. Now again I will create one another component, that is component C, and in component C I will show you how to use React context using classful component. So write component C dot JSX, and I'm using RC snippet to create one classful component. Now in class component, to get the access to global state, I have to write the component name, that is component C dot context type equals to your context, that is theme context. Make sure to import it from theme context. Now I can easily use this context inside my classful component. So here I will simply write the class name as this dot context dot theme, that will give me the access to the global theme. And inside this div I will simply write the component C, and inside it I will write component C so that you can easily recognize this component. So I'm writing component C and finally saving it. So if I go back to browser, you can see that two components are there already. So if I just want to use this component again, I have to import it inside this uh, theme context provider. So make sure to import it from component 3. Now if you go back to the browser, you can see that three components are there. So if you just click on the button from the first component, you can see all the themes are getting changed. So that is because of React Context API, which give me access to the global state so that I can use that global state to different components. So thank you for watching. Please click on the subscribe and like button if you like this video. Thank you.